Hi guys, in this video we're going to be making some cupcake toppers for Valentine's Day, and we're going to be using some edible pens, some modelling paste and some little alphabet stampers that we can push for indentations into the cake, or the cake toppers, and of course some little heart cutters. So we're going to use modelling paste so that it sets nice and hard for us. I'm going to roll it reasonably thin, taking whatever shape heart you want. We're going to cut a few of these out for the tops of our cupcakes. And I'll cut some smaller ones for decoration. And I've got a nice assortment of sizes. So pick out your letters and you can choose whichever words you want. Just make sure they fit within the shape that you've cut. So I'm going to take my little stamps that I've got and we're just going to push them gently into the heart shape to spell out our word. And you don't have to have them in a straight line, have them however you want them to go. And you do a few of those, different sizes, and you give them a little bit of time to be drying. So this one, I actually left this one overnight, so it is really quite hard, this one. And what I'm going to do now is taking an edible pen, I've got a silvery grey one for this one, is we're just going to colour in our letters that we've stamped out. So can you see that there? I've chosen a grey rather than a black, just because I didn't want it to be too strong. I thought we'll go for a nice subtle colour. So I find it easier to let this dry before using the pens. You might prefer to do them straight on. And you can do it in a different colour to what I have done if you want. You might want to do it in red. So I'll show you some others that I've done with the pens. So I've got some other little hearts that I had cut out yesterday, the same time as these. They've had a bit of time to harden. I'm going to colour them to look a bit like this one. And for this, because I've got some pens to hand, I'm just going to use my pens again, if I can get the lid off. So with these, I'll show you on a larger one, hopefully you'll be able to see it a bit better. I'm going to colour from the edge. Now don't worry if it's not hugely neat, because we're going to be dragging the colour across a little bit. I'm just taking a damp brush, we're going to gradually pull that line inwards. Can you see? So it's just blending it in a little bit, like that. And if you want it to be stronger around the edges again, just put a little bit more on that very edge. So with the hearts, I'm going to do the same as I've been doing with the little ones. And of course you can just use dusts if you want to create this effect, but I've got my pens out and to hand, and I think it looks quite nice using those. And then just pop on your other little heart somewhere if you want that to go on there. And of course you can use other shapes as well as the hearts if you want. So I've got a little butterfly cut out here, so you might want to use that. Again, we'll colour it in the same way. So for your butterfly, colour your edges in, same as you were doing with your hearts. And then you can go a little bit darker down the middle if you want. I'm just going to pop a little bit of royal icing on the back of my butterfly to stick that on in place. And then they're ready to stick on to your cupcakes. So I'm going to put it on my cupcake. I've just got a bit of buttercream in a bag. I've put a bit of pink and a bit of white in. And we're just going to squeeze this onto here. It's quite thick, my buttercream, so you can soften it a bit if you want. And then you're going to take one of your toppers and just pop them into the top like that. So that's it, that's them done. Thank you for watching.
If you liked this video and would like to see more, please click on the images of the other videos suggested. Also, please do subscribe to my channel using the button at the bottom right hand corner of the screen. You can also visit my cake website and my Facebook page to see more cakes and ideas.